A tone consists of two half steps, between two musical notes. That's a tone. While a semitone is a half step between one musical note and the next. A half step. Now, please never forget this. Now, our T here represents our tone. And so this is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. What does this mean? What this is saying basically is between do and re, every time. Between do and re, you have a full tone. Okay? Which consists of two semitones. Don't worry, I will explain what that means. But just know it mentally. Between do and re, you have a full tone. Between re and mi, you have a full tone. But between mi and fa, you have a semitone. Between fa and so, you have a full tone. Between so and la, you have a full tone. Between la and ti, you have a full tone. But between ti and do again, you have a semitone. So there are only two places you have a semitone in a diatonic major scale. Between mi and fa, and between ti and do. Everywhere else, you have a full tone. Are we together so far?
Yes.
Now, what does that mean? I'll show us. Now, let's assume that this stick drawing is our keyboard. Now, the keyboard don't mind my stick drawing, and so on and so forth. So, I know it's hard for you to believe, but this thing I'm drawing is actually a keyboard. If you can draw better, come and draw your own. Anyway, this is my own keyboard. You are not happy with it. Well, sorry. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, on our keyboard scale, there is always a repetition of, so all of these boxes here are black keys. These are black keys. Okay? So, you always have this repetition of two black keys, three black keys, followed by two black keys and three black keys, and I will show us that real quick now. Two black keys, three black keys, two black keys, three black keys. So, between, let's say this is our do, right? Between do and re, we call this mi, call this fa, so, la, ti, and do. Now, if you observe, between do and re, you have a black key in between, right? Now, the distance between this do to this black key is half a step. Does that make sense? And the distance between this black key and this re is another half a step. The distance between re and this black key, which is a little higher, is half a step. The distance between this key and this mi is half. Don't worry, I'm going to explain what all of these keys are when we get to the subject of keys. We'll talk about key signature, we'll talk about time signature, we'll talk about all of that. But I just want you to have the basic understanding of how this tone and semitone idea came about. So the distance between re and mi is half step. Re and this is actually called re. The distance between re and re is half step. Re and me is half step. So half plus half equals 1 full tone. Right? Half plus half equals 1 full tone. But if you observe, between me and fa, do you see any black key? No. So it means the distance between me and fa is just half a step. The black key is in between two white keys. Whenever you see a black key in between two white keys, it is half a step. You are going half a step up and then half a step down. Does that make sense? Yeah. But whenever you don't see a black key in between two white keys, it means the distance between this white key and the next white key is half a step.
Okay, gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, the distance between fa and so again, from fa, there's a black key, right? That's half a step. From the black key down, another half a step, which makes us what? A full tone. So, between me and fa, we have semitone. Between fa and so, we have a full tone. Between so and la, we see a black key in between. That's half a step, right? And then from that key to la, we see another half a step. That's a full tone. Between la and ti again, we see a full tone. Between ti and do, we see a semitone. Because what? There is no black key in between. Are we together so far?
Yep.
Now, in just 1 minute, I want us to go to the keyboard and look at exactly what I am talking about. Now, the next thing we'll talk about is the concept of letter names, which will make more sense in a minute.
We are coming to your lab. So, lab in our one.
Okay. Now, this is what they call a keyboard. And this is our keyboard master here, even though he tries to run it. Anyway, so, do you see what I was trying to draw on the board?
Yes.
This is it. Yeah. Sure you understand? Whether you agree with my drawing or not, that's your problem. Anyway, 2 black keys, 3 black keys. 2 black keys, 3 black keys, all the way. So, the distance between these notes...
So this one is black key, why?
Just forget about that. It depends on the length. It depends on the length of the keyboard. Just leave that for now. Now, the distance between these notes... Ejo, Brales. The distance between... Ejo. Do... Do you see that? The distance between these 2 notes is an octave.
Okay, yes.
Does that make sense? We talked about that, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. Now, 2 black keys, 3 black keys. So let's start from right here. Now, this is what we call our C. I will explain all of that in just a minute. But this is our do, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm now saying, how do we increase the volume again? Okay. So, this is our do. If you observe, between this do, re, between do and re, there is a note in between, which is, right? Do, re. Don't worry, I will explain. When we get to chromatic scale, I will explain. Just leave that for now. The only thing I just want you to take away from here is that between these notes and this note, there is a half step. So between do and re, there is a half step.
Yes.
Which means the distance between do and re is a full tone.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
Between re and mi, there is a half step, there is a black key, which means this half plus this half equals to 1 full tone, right? But between mi and fa, you see there is no black key, which means the distance between mi and fa is just a semitone. Between fa and so, you see a black key, so half step plus half step equals a full tone. Yeah. Between so and la, full tone. Between la and ti, full tone. Between ti and do, half step or semitone. Okay. Are we together up until that point?
Yes.
I know there are still lots of things that are not clear, but is it clear up to this point?
Yes.
Okay.
It's clear, but I have a beef with the musicians. Because in my mind,
sorry.
Like, why can't you just make this? If this is missing in my mind, like it's like we're getting to the full story. I mean, the full tone faster. So like it shouldn't be half. It should just be 1.
Okay, you will understand why it's half. You will understand why it's half. Don't worry. Okay. So, are we together up until this point?
Yes.
Hey.
I hope you realize that generations to come will be hearing all these shenanigans in the Anyway. Do we understand up until this point?
Yes.
Now, the next thing I now want to talk about is the concept of letter names.
Are you a lecturer, sir?
Letter names. Now, in music, there are only 7 letters that we use. Alright? Those letters are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. No more, no less. Okay? When you get to G, instead of going to H, please look up, look up. When we get to G, instead of going to H, we continue from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, followed by
J.
J. You will write your own theory of music. Anyway, those are the 7 letters we use in music.
Okay.
Alright? But are we together up until that point?
Yep.
Now, there is a very important letter in music, very, very important one. The most important letter, in fact, in my opinion, in music that you must be in love with, right? Is the letter C.
You see, our C. Our C.
Is the letter C. C in music is often used as a reference for a lot of things. Okay? Are we together up until this point?
Yes.
Don't worry. Don't ask why yet. Shall follow step by step. Okay? The letter C. So, going back to our diatonic major scale. You still remember? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right?
Yes.
Now, when we are starting, now the reason why C is often used as a reference in music is because it's the simplest key you can have as far as playing the keyboard is concerned. Does that make sense? It's the simplest key that you can have as far as playing on the keyboard is concerned because it has no complications. When you are running the scale of C, you will never have to encounter any black key because the black keys are interruptions. They can cause accidents sometimes. Does that make sense? You never run into any black keys when you are playing on C. So, it's a neutral key. I will discuss what sharp keys are, what flat keys are, the neutral key. Our only neutral key in music is C. So, but just understand this. Going back to our diatonic major scale, when you are running our scale on C major, and you are starting on C, remember I said something that your do is another word for your key. Do you remember that? Remember the last time we were trying to do an exercise, I was saying find the do, right? Find where the do is. What I'm saying is find where the key is. So when you want to sing, for example, and you say, I want to sing on C, and then Brother Lewis does some, those things he used to do. And you now know that, I'm supposed to sing like this, right? That thing you heard, right, that is playing for you as C, that is your key, is actually your do, where you are started from. Yes.
So, each key has its own series of the diatonic letters in it,
Exactly.
correct? Okay.
So the same way you are singing, let's do C first. You will answer your question in just a moment. Now, so we are starting on C. We want to run our diatonic major scale. Our Re will be our D. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Our Mi will be our E.
Our
Fa will be our F. Okay? Our So will be our G. Our La will be our A. Our T will be our Do. And then we are back to our
C.
Sorry, our T will be our B. And then our Do will be our C again. Then we'll continue.
And we're starting on a higher octave now.
Exactly. The same thing. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It's very simple. Just don't overcomplicate it. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Now, this is when we are singing on the key of C major. Does that make sense? Now, remember I told you something that we are discussing diatonic major scale, and in diatonic major scale we have 7 notes, right? But I also talk about something called the chromatic scale, right? On the chromatic scale you have 12 notes, not 7. How did we arrive at 12? I'm not explaining chromatic scale here, I'm just giving you this for your information. How did we arrive at 12? Now, normally we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? For our diatonic major scale. But for chromatic scale, we will include these black keys. Because each of them are also distinct sounds. Make sense? So, we'll now count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
12.
Does that make sense? So when you say, I want to sing on C sharp, is that I want to sing on C sharp, I want to sing on C sharp. This is your C sharp. How did we get it? Oh yes, please. Just know it for your information. This is your E flat. Okay? This is your F sharp. This is your A flat. Okay? This is your B flat. Why are some called sharps? I know there are 1,000 questions running in your engineering head. Why are some called sharp? Why are some called flat? Don't worry. A road was not built in a day. You are a civil engineer, right? You start small. Just know this for your information. I will explain when we get to keys. I will explain why some are sharp, some are flat, why they have the name there. But just know this just for your information. Okay? Now, let's say we now want to sing on D, right? You want to sing on key D. We were singing on C major before, right? I know we had the re mi fa sol la ti do on C. Now we want to sing on D. So our D will now become our Do. Make sense? Our Re will become our E. Makes sense. Now, before I get there, let me, so that you will be less confused. Let me label this key. This is my keyboard here. So, the white key. Anytime you have two black keys, right? Two. The white keys that is just before the first black key is known as the letter C.
Okay.
Are we together? 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys. Where you have the 2 black keys, the white key that is just before the first black key is your letter C. The next white key is D, E, F, G, A, E, and C. So every time you see C, it is just before 2 black keys. Does that make sense? Now I'm taking time to explain this because of what I want to say next. Now, let's say we want to run the scale of D major. Now, which means your D is your Do. You say, Brother Alex, I want to sing on D major. And it's right, your do, 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 do. And then you want to sing. Whatever it is you want to sing. Now, how do you calibrate your scale on D major? Now, your Do on key D is simple, it's straightforward. Now, when you are singing on D major, your Re, now, this is our D, right? Your Re will be what?
Your E.
Your
E.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's something I don't want you to forget. It is the concept of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. The only places you have a semitone is between Mi and Fa and between Ti and Do. Never forget that. That will be important. Now, so our Re will be our E because we are starting on D, right? Our Re will be our E. Right? Now, what will be our Mi?
Yeah. The next letter.
What letter will be our Mi?
F.
F? Are you
Yes,
sure?
yes. F key.
You think so?
Yes.
What is the distance between Re and Mi?
Where am I?
Is it a full tone or a semitone?
The full tone.
Okay. So if this is our Re, what will be our Mi?
Do.
It can't be the half.
This is two
Oh,
together.
it's gonna be the E, E flat, I guess.
You are going forward. Look at this. It's very simple. This is our Do, right?
Yes.
Full tone will bring us to E, right?
Okay.
But we need another full tone from Re to Mi. Now, between this E and F, you only have half a step.
Okay.
Which means you need to go up another half step to get your full tone.
Oh. Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Now, so our F sharp now will be our mi. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So, do, re, our mi now will not be on F, it will be here, F sharp. Are we together?
Wait, you are not writing it under this, so.
No one. What I'm trying to say is, it will be here, it won't be on F.
Okay.
It will be on F sharp. Okay? Because re to E to F is half step, so you have to raise that by another half step to get your full tone. Now, what is the distance between mi and fa?
Yeah, it's half.
Mi and fa is always a semitone.
Yes.
Our time is up. Okay, let's just finish this. Mi and fa is always a semitone.
Yeah.
So, we are already here. What is a semitone from F sharp? Where does that take us?
So.
What letter?
G.
G. Perfect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, we are here. Half step will bring us to G. So, it means our fa will be on G. Are we together?
Yeah.
Now, we are on fa. Remember, we are on the key of D, no longer on the key of C. So, our do on the key of D, our re will be D, our mi will be F sharp, our fa will be G. Are we together? And now, our saw, the distance between fa and saw is always what? A full tone, right?
Yes.
So, we are on G now. What is a full tone from G? Forward, a full tone forward from G.
That would be the A.
A, right? Because G, you have half step plus half step, giving you A, right? So, our saw will be letter A. What will be our la? The distance between saw and la is what?
Is a
Full
full
tone, right? So if our saw is on A, what will be the full tone forward from there?
B.
B, right? So our la is letter B. And what will be our T now?
T.
We are on letter B for our la. What is the distance between la and T? Is it a tone or a semitone?
The semitone.
A full tone, right? Remember, semitone is only between T and do and between mi and fa. Everything else is a full tone. So the distance between la and T is a full tone.
Yeah.
Now we are here on B. Where will our full tone land from B? Forward.
The smaller, the sharp.
C sharp.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So our T now will be C sharp.
But now your comment makes sense where we don't have to stress ourselves if we are starting from C.
Exactly. Because it's all just white. It's very simple, it's straightforward. You don't have to worry. You have to, because what that means is when you are playing the keyboard now, you will have to be striking these black keys as you are playing to hit specific some notes. You have to be hitting the black keys, and sometimes it can be inconvenient depending on your level of your level of expertise. Anyway, so and then the distance between our T and do is what? Semitone. Remember?
Yes.
Semitone. So now our T is on C sharp. Where will our do land now?
D.
You see that?
D number.
So we started on D, we ended on D, and we have our full octave.
Nice.
And with this explanation I just gave now, in fact, I'll give us as assignment now.
Oh God.
Go and this thing I just did now. Go and do it for keys E, F. I've done the full scale. I've done the full scale for C and for D, right? Go and do your own for E, F, G, A, and B. The remaining 5 under the diatonic. For E, F, G, A, and B. Write it out. So your do, like I did here, what will your do? Where will it be? Your do for your E will be on E major. Your re will be wherever you want it to be. Is it going to be on F? Is it going to be on F sharp? Just look at this thing I just did now. And use it to trace, using the principle of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. It's very simple. It takes time for you to master it, but once you do, you will discover the pattern is very easy for you to replicate. And once you understand this, you can start teaching yourself keyboard at home. Amen.
Amen.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Okay, we are done.
Since you have more money, play me on D. Oh yeah, Brawlers, we better go on D.
Can I
Okay,
claim
Simo.
this?
Yes.
Class is over.